Women's FIVB Volleyball World Grand Prix Hong Kong 2014. China versus Thailand. Live Friday night at 8:25 on Pearl.
Welcome back. The Council for Sustainable Development aims to submit its recommendations on a proposed household waste tax to the government in October. Chairman Bernard Chan says he's leaning towards starting off with a low charge. A 4-month public consultation on the proposed household garbage tax has shown that most people prefer a household and volume-based charge. The Council for Sustainable Development will meet next week to discuss the amount.
The green groups would prefer a higher charging level because that way we will really deter people from wasting more. But at the same time, you can also imagine, since it's a higher charging level, there may be more fly tipping.
Chan pointed out that the proposed tax requires LegCo approval, and most lawmakers he's talked to are calling for a low rate.
They're all telling me anything over $30 a month is not acceptable. So I think we probably have to be realistic. It's not going to be a perfect way, but my personal assessment is that we probably should go with a lower level to get more buy-in, to get everybody on board.
The council will gather data from a trial scheme involving 22 housing estate blocks before submitting its suggestions to the government. That's due to happen in October. The government wants to present a proposal to lawmakers by next year, but Chan pointed out that many details still have to be ironed out. The council will have to come up with different ways to charge those living in premises that have no building management and those living in housing estates. Chan believes housing estate management could be given guidelines on how to charge individual households for their rubbish, but be allowed the flexibility to adopt its own way to carry it out. Then the government would just charge the estate management for the overall waste.
So we need to still work out all the different options, how best we can actually make this work. We waited for 20 years, long overdue. We can't wait any longer. So, so we need to, really start now.
It sounds like people are generally...
The Customs and Excise Department has seized more than 1 million sticks of illicit cigarettes at Lok Ma Chau. Officers also arrested a 38-year-old man. Liz Yoon with more details.
Customs officers say the market value of the illicit cigarettes is about $3.5 million. Officers believe the syndicate was trying to avoid a hefty import duty of up to $2.5 million. The Customs and Excise Department says it is stepping up its actions against smuggling activities.
The only control point that has a 24-hour service is Lok Ma Chau. So this case was inspected at Lok Ma Chau, and the syndicate might think the vehicle passing through at 2 o'clock in the morning. They think they can evade our customs detection.
Officers found the cigarettes using an X-ray device. Their vehicle was said to be transporting more than 600 boxes of DVD players, but instead it was carrying the illicit cigarettes across the border. In the first 6 months this year, customs officers stopped 11 cases of illicit cigarette smuggling. The goods seized had a market value of around $53.2 million.
The telephone ordering activity is the most predominant. They send the flyers to the buyers, usually the densely populated housing estate.
Customs officers warned the public that it is also illegal to buy illicit cigarettes. These cigarettes will be sent to their respective trademark owners for verification. According to previous cases, about 40% of illicit cigarettes are counterfeits. Liz Yun, TVB News.
Elsewhere in the region, Thailand's railway authority has launched train carriages for women and children only. The move was made after a 13-year-old girl was brutally raped and killed on an overnight train last month, sparking public outrage. The special carriages operate on main routes nationwide. Female passengers and boys under 10 or shorter than 150 centimeters can ride in the carriages. They are staffed by female employees. Women and children carriages had been operated before, but the service was cancelled because of money losses.
International investigators have begun gathering body parts and belongings of dozens of victims in the fields where Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 crashed in eastern Ukraine. The 70-member team of Dutch and Australian experts are combing through scrubland not far from the scene of fierce clashes between Ukrainian soldiers and pro-Russian separatists. The fighting had earlier prevented investigators from reaching the crash site. Detector dogs and other high-tech gear will be used in the operation. The remains of at least 80 people are believed to be they lay unrecovered at the crash site. At the White House, US President Barack Obama admitted Washington is limited in what it can do to deter Russia's actions in Ukraine, but he warned Moscow faces consequences if it continues to arm separatists.
Anybody who's been watching some of these images.
US President Barack Obama has acknowledged the United States tortured al-Qaeda detainees captured after the 9/11 attacks in 2001. They were some of his most expansive comments to date about a controversial set of CIA practices, such as waterboarding, that he banned after taking office.
In the immediate aftermath of 9/11, we did some things that were wrong. We did a whole lot of things that were right, but we tortured some folks.
A new report reveals that the White House gave Congress details of an investigation into enhanced interrogation techniques. The previous administration of President George W. Bush authorized the use of harsh questioning techniques of militant detainees after deciding they did not amount to torture. Obama said the techniques were used because the U.S. was afraid more attacks were imminent. Good news, bad news for a U.S. job market. July was a sixth straight month that saw more than 200,000 jobs created. But the country's unemployment rate did edge up from 6.1% to 6.2%.
I think the fact that unemployment ticked up last month, that's actually a good sign. Sometimes unemployment rates go down for bad reasons. Sometimes unemployment rates go up for good reasons. And this slight uptick last month was because people have confidence that they can get back into the workforce.
More people are looking for work, and we did create a good amount of jobs, but not enough to absorb the new people that were looking for work. Labor force participation rates are still pretty low, so we still have that to work with.
All right, Tony, over to you for sports.
That's right, Commonwealth Games. But first, we have some bad news for Indiana Pacer fans. And the Indiana Pacers are keeping their fingers crossed on star player Paul George, who suffered a serious leg injury during a training session with the U.S. national basketball team. In a practice game with squad players, George smashed his leg against the bottom of the backboard, and he was taken out of the arena on a stretcher. Well, a mixed bag for Kenya on the track at the Commonwealth Games. While the women continued their gold rush, there was another upset for the Kenyan men.
Despite a high-profile row with Australia's head coach, Olympic champion Sally Pearson kept her cool to successfully defend her Commonwealth title in Glasgow. She took the 100 metres hurdles in a time of 12.67 seconds. In the women's 800 metres, world champion Eunice Sum of Kenya claimed an easy win, but it was the performance of Scotland's Lindsay Sharp which caught the eye. She surged past four others in the final 100 metres of the race to secure an emotional second place. She had spent the previous night on a drip and had struggled with injuries, so this medal was indeed a silver lining for the European champion. In the men's competition, superstar Usain Bolt helped Jamaica to the final of the 4x100 metres relay, and Uganda's Moseb Kipsiro edged out defending champion Joseph Bett of Kenya to win the men's 10,000 metres. On the diving platform, former Olympic champion Matt Mitchum and partner Dominic Bedgood beat England's Tom Daley and James Denny to take gold in the 10 metres synchronised event. And more gold for Singapore, with the Lion City sweeping the table tennis podium in the women's singles, while the men beat India for gold in the doubles.
And that's it for the news. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Hong Kong quaffed more than 8 million litres of beer last year. And although it's easy to find mass-market beer at bars and stores, some local brewers are stirring up their own craft beers. Others even brew at home. The Per Report finds out what all the froth is about. Monday night at 8.
倍茄紅素，高效抗氧化。卡哥咩？
有 DHA 智立方360，時刻 A 加領先。
唔使擔心。
智力、動作、情感、語言嘅發展對成長好關鍵。安怡寶 A 加創新 DHA 智立方360，小朋友全面發展，識得醒目應變，精靈過人，智、動、情、語全發展，成就 A 加表現，連續12年全港銷量第一，美讚神。
Sun Life Financial presents The Weather Report is brought to you by Sun Life Financial.
Good evening. It was sunny today. As tonight's situation chart shows, at 5 p.m., the weather was mainly fine over the South China coastal areas. And today's temperatures range from 26.1 to 32.8 degrees, and the current temperature is now standing at 31 degrees Celsius. A trace of rain has been recorded since midnight, and the very hot weather warning is now in force. So, Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow? It will be mainly fine apart from isolated showers tomorrow. Temperatures will range from 28 to 32 degrees. Expect sunny periods and a few showers in the following few days. Tomorrow morning's air quality health index will range from low to moderate, and the maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 10. And now to the latest global weather update. Cloudy in Shanghai, showers in Taipei and Xiamen. Thunderstorms in Guangzhou, cloudy in Chengdu. Cloudy in Beijing, bright in Tokyo. Thunderstorms in Bangkok, showers in Manila. Bright in Kuala Lumpur, showers in Jakarta. Thunderstorms in New Delhi, rain in Karachi and Mumbai. Sunny in Cairo, bright in Nairobi. Showers in Brisbane, sunny in Melbourne. Cloudy in Toronto, showers in New York. Sunny in Vancouver and Los Angeles. And it's bright in London, showers in Paris, Amsterdam and Zurich, cloudy in Frankfurt. And that's the weather. Good night.
It was brought to you by Sun Life Financial. Life's brighter under the sun.
Shark Cam's gonna give us a real close-up of how these animals behave.
See sharks in a way that no diver could allow you to.
And if it works, it'll revolutionize the way we track animals. We are making history.
Tuesday, Return of Jaws at 8:30 on Pearl. An extra limb, gigantic horns, a human monkey king, Siamese twins, a lucky color. These are nature's special creatures. Wednesday, World's Weirdest at 8:30 on Pearl.
This is deadly pole to pole. Whoa! Go, go, go! It's pulling him right into the coral. It's a magnificent sight. Yes. So close. No, he got my pole!
Sunday, Deadly Pole to Pole at 8 on Pearl.